Mohandas Gandhi. He was one of the greatest spiritual and political leaders of our time. He was born October 2nd, 1869 in Porbandar, India. Some people think Gandhi's first name is Mahatma. Mahatma means great soul, and it's the title the people of India gave him when he became a leader. Beginning in 1888, he studied law in England. After a brief return to India, he went to South Africa and experienced racism. Racism is when you're treated wrong because of the color of your skin. One night, Gandhi was on a train, and he had bought a first-class seat. Gandhi had dark skin, like most Indians, and the colored people were supposed to sit in third class. One night, the engineer was walking on the train. The engineer was walking through to make sure people were sitting in the right places, and he saw Gandhi in the first class, and he told him to get in third class. Gandhi argued and got kicked off the train. Gandhi thought this was wrong, so he filed a lawsuit and he won. So you were no longer allowed to put a black person, judge a person where to sit by the color of their skin. Later, Gandhi started the theory of Satyagraha, or the force of love. Gandhi believes the force of love by peace always won over violence. After 20 years in South Africa, he returned to India to rid India of 300 years of British rule. One of the first things Gandhi encouraged was the making of homespun cloth. This was against the law because the English required the Indians to buy cloth from England. Because of the British government was so angry, they killed 379 people and injured over 1,000 in the Amstar massacre. To protest this massacre, Gandhi led the whole country on strike. Strike is when you stop work because of leading the country on strike. Gandhi was in prison for 2 years and multiple times through his life. Salt is an important part of the diet in hot countries like India. The British told the Indians to buy salt from England. The Salt March protested this law. It started in Sabarmati with 78 people. It ended in Gandhi, 200 miles from there, with hundreds of thousands of people. The British were finally losing control of the Indians, and on August 12, 1947, the Indians won their independence. Some Muslims, which was a type of religion, thought if the country was ran by Hindus, another type of religion, since there was a small number of them, they would be slaves. So there was a big war called the Partition Riots. Gandhi went on fast to stop the war. Fast is when you stop eating. Finally, the war stopped and Pakistan was formed for the Muslims out of small pieces of East and West India. Some Hindus were mad at Gandhi for letting the Muslims have their own country. And on January 30th, 1948, at one of Gandhi's prayer meetings, he was assassinated. Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolence influenced people all over the world like Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King Jr. My favorite quote that Gandhi wrote was, "Be the change you want to see in the world," which means if you want to see a more peaceful, loving world, then you become a more peaceful, loving person. And this is what Gandhi did all through his life.
If you think of his philosophy, Zane, then you think of our great commandment, side by side, aren't they? Okay, would you like to call on some children for questions?
Matthew? Was Gandhi friends with, how old was he when he died? 78. Did you really know the teacher Gandhi on the first report? Yeah. It's really good. No. Why did he get assassinated? Because the Hindus were mad with him for letting the Muslims have their own country. So when the Hindus shot him, caught him. Who was he assassinated by? Not from dots. Timmy? Did he ever go back to jail? Yeah. Mars?
How do you know so much about Gandhi?
I read a lot of books. And watched the movie, which was 3 hours.
Damn that one.
Yeah.
It was like one of these prayer meetings. I don't know where. It was in India, though. I don't know where.
One more one.
Zane.
How many times did he get arrested?
I don't know, 6, 7.
Very good. Any particular quote or anything on the board that you want to point out to us?
It's the board.
Your board that you made. Read the one right smack in the middle. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Johnny had 14, I think, possessions as maybe 16. 2 spoons, 2 pots, 3 monkeys, 3 books, 1 pocket watch. Yeah, that's what I said. 1 pair of eyeglasses, a tin bowl from prison, a tin bowl, a souvenir from prison, 1 desk set, 2 pairs of sandals, and his cot, which was his clothes.
Very good.